certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Unmute it, retard. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Steel Toe Evening Show. I'm Aaron. You're my best friends in the world. It's true. I love you. I do so much. Welcome to the program. So much to do today, as usual. An over-prepped show. Really too many things. A lot of it's going to get moved to tomorrow morning. A lot of things from this morning got moved to this evening. And then we did a little show prep in the afternoon in between. One thing I'm going to have to dig for, though, after the show is apparently, and I don't know what I did to be such a good boy this Christmas season, but apparently Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson sat down. Now, I'm going to grab clips for that for tomorrow morning's show. That's going to be a morning thing. I'm sorry. I know you'd all like to watch that, but I saw a tweet from Alex today that said he was going to, that he sat down and he had done the podcast with Tucker and that it would be out in a few hours. I just want to see if I can find some clips. I mean, because Alex, Alex sometimes speaks out of turn. Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson. Yeah, here's the tweet. I just did a very controversial and informative interview with Tucker Carlson that drops in the next few hours. So it's going to be on Tucker's channel. Oh, there it is. It dropped 22 minutes ago.
You and your wonderful crew in Florida. But
2 hours and 20 minutes.
This is truly a little slice of Mayberry.
Mildly demented Mayberry. Thank you.
So Tucker and Alex, boy, is that going to be a fun one. There's only one more for Tucker left to do. He's talked to Candace. He's talked to Alex. There's only one left. The generational run continues. Nick Fuentes has to be next for Tucker Carlson. I know they kind of hate each other. I know they kind of despise each other. But it's got to happen. He's the only one left. He's the only one left. I just don't. I think it's time for the two of them to bury the hatchet, call it a day, and just talk to each other. I mean, Dave Smith and Nick Fuentes were at each other's throats for a while. They just did a show together. Let them do it. Let them do it. I'm excited to watch that. I know some people in the chat are saying Alex is not a Fed. Deep state. That's what I'm seeing. Alex is full deep state. Alex is a deep state guy now. I don't know. Is he? Look, Lord knows that if there's anyone who you could forgive for being kind of kowtowed into submission, it's Alex Jones. I mean, the guy stands to lose everything. He's got a $1 billion judgment against him because he freely talks shit about the Sandy Hook shooting. So if anyone would play it safe and you'd have to forgive him, I think it would be Alex Jones. But some people are still going to give him shit over it. What do you do? All right, guys. I did a thing, and I'm very excited to announce this thing because I believe that a lot of people got fucked over in the last year or so. While I outsourced the moderating of the YouTube channel to others who did their best, not saying they did a bad job, I think a lot of people, including people who have been very supportive of this program for years, got caught up in this weird Nazi dragnet that they all did. And I couldn't be bothered because I'm over on Rumble having a great time, doing awesome, having fun with that crowd. I kind of let things go a little bit. Well, I've been back in the YouTube chat lately, and I've been getting messages from people going, hey, now that you're back in the YouTube chat, unban me, I was banned, love the show, blah, blah. And I've been getting a lot of these, a lot of them. So today before the evening show, I went, you know what? If people don't have names like Aaron's an evil cunt, I hate him, and I hope he dies, I'm going to give him another shot. You know, if they don't have names that are about like my kids or doxing people or, you know, anything that shows that they're clearly psychotic, like super duper obsessive anti-steel toe people, I'm going to give them another shot and I'm going to let them earn their timeouts, right? So I did that. Now, there is a rule, and this is a rule because I'm a whore and I want as many subscribers as possible. You do have to be a subscriber for 24 hours before you can chat. So go ahead, resubscribe, and you'll be back for tomorrow's evening show. But I let a lot of people come back. Now, I know, and my mods are going to, I did it. I split the baby because I wanted to go full jailbreak. I wanted to let everybody back, right? Because there's a lot of people that hate your guts so much, they'll pay you money to hate you. I want those people. The only thing I've got a problem with is spamming the chat with the same thing over and over and just mucking up the works. That's all I ban people for, is just mucking up the works with the same shit over and over and over. Like, I got at least 2 or 3 chats that I'm watching. It might take me a minute to get to you. Please be patient. So I kind of did a halfway thing. If I go full jailbreak, my mods are going to be mad. They're going to revolt, and they're going to say, we did all this for you, and you just fucking let these people go. So I didn't go full jailbreak. If your name is like Aaron's a giant cunt, and I hope he dies of AIDS, well, now see that one, it depends on how you mean it. I might let that one go. But like stuff like that, or about my children and you know, or other people, I kept those ones banned. But the ones that are just like, you know, Aaron sucks, that's fine. Let those go. Brought back a bunch of people whose names I recognized who I think they were unfairly banned. I brought a lot of people back that I thought, you know what? Either A, they're a big fan of the show, or B, they mildly talk a little shit and who cares? You know, and they don't spam the chat or anything like that. So I like it. I like what I've done. I think I've made a decision that makes everyone happy, and I hope everybody can enjoy themselves. That's what I hope. All right. Let's see. Derek from Texas said, somebody said I love the show. I know. Look, man, I appreciate that people can say that, but yes, I'm just as surprised as you are, really. Balls Deep gifting 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Balls Deep. Appreciate
I have sworn
it.
on the altar of God, total resistance against every form of tyranny, against the mind of men.
There's our boy. Thank you, Balls, for jumping in on that one. Thank you, Adam Simon, for gifting a couple of memberships over on YouTube. And Red Fox Mad with $4.99. Says Aaron in 30 years. We'll have to go back and check that one in just a little bit. Now, the best thing about this is that a lot of people who we unbanned are now getting memberships, showing that even while they were banned, they were listening and watching the show intently because you are gifted those memberships based on watch time. So thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate it. Balls Deep says, glad you unblocked T-Jeff. There's a lot of solid dude bros who got caught up. I agree. I saw a few names I was unbanning, and T-Jeff was one of them, where I'm like, what the fuck did that guy ever do? That guy didn't do anything wrong. He's great. So I came in, I did a little hedge trimming, if you will. It's like I tended to my garden after a while, and I didn't realize how bad the overgrowth has gotten, if that makes sense. Derek from Texas says, block me. I don't give a shit. Well, then he just got a membership gifted to him. I'm not going to block you when you're a paying member, my man. T. Jefferson says, I really enjoy the show, even when I don't agree with him. Yeah, I was sad to see that you were banned. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. Derek from Texas says, oh my God, move on, Aaron. I'm just doing a show. I'm just doing it. You're here. I'm just doing a show. Just having a good time, buddy. It's all right. Balls Deep with a membership. That one went to Jizakup. Got that one. I See You Know got a membership. That's another one where I saw that they were banned. I'm like, I See You Know was always great. Nothing wrong with them. So we got that all cleared up. Thank you guys very much. And also, if you still are banned and you would like to get in touch with me, shoot me an email. Whatever. We'll bust you out. We'll bust you out. Scarface says, I didn't pay for this. Sure you didn't. Stop it. Stop it. You know you're auto-renewing, you silly fuck. You were banned, and you still couldn't stop watching. Adam Simon says, my ultimate triumph is the moment I gifted a membership on Keanu's podcast. I mean, that shouldn't be the greatest moment of your life. Adam Simon says, you can't hide from the toe. Why would you want to? Look at how pleasant I am. Why would you want to hide from the toe? Why? So you can watch a show starring fat neckbeards who go, I hate everyone. I'm like a mushroom, baby. I'm a fun guy. All right, guys, let's enjoy tonight. Let's bask in each other's glow because it's after over 2 weeks. It's back to work. It's back to business as usual. Vacation is over tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is the first goal we've had in 2 weeks. I know. I mean, maybe it sharpens me up. I don't know. But you evening show people, you're free and clear. I think you're like 160 away from next week. Or next evening show, tomorrow night. So you guys could technically stay ahead. We're also 19 gifted memberships on Rumble away from 500. Josie Wales, nope, you're here. When I was deciding who to unban, why did I think Coach Cum Guzzler would be a good one to unban? That doesn't, I don't really think that was good judgment on my part. Oh, well, maybe he's a good time. Jan Edwin is back. There we go. Josie Wales is back. I'm going to like this. Adam Simon says, let's go. Fill up that commissary account. That's right, guys. Those little pink coconut things that Baby-O loves and Dr. Peppers don't buy themselves. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Thank you guys very much. Make sure you hit like, hit follow, hit subscribe, no matter what platform you may happen to be on. Let's go over to Rumble and see how those guys are doing. Sane Caesar, yes. Professor Tie-Dye, yes. I did get to watch Raw today. I got to see Braun Breaker and what's his name? Big Bronson Reed turn on Seth Rollins. I got a prediction for you. I've got a call. They're faking it. Not like they're faking it like it's a work wrestling. Of course it is. I'm saying they're tricking CM Punk. They're going to make Punk think that the vision is all broken up, that it's all over, and Seth is all alone, and it's just CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And then at Survivor Series or wherever that match is going to be, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are going to interfere. They're going to attack CM Punk, reunite with Seth Rollins. It's going to be the knee injury gag all over again. That's my prediction. When it happens, don't get mad. Just remember, Aaron told you. Lander says, wrestling fake? How dare you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do it. All right, let's take a look. Shit Show. Yes, you are unbanned. Welcome, Shit Show. T. Jefferson, welcome back. I'm so excited. Thank you very, very. Menthol Man is back. I'm going to count a lot of the people that are back tonight. And look, if you're cool and you're just a moderate shit talker who's not over obsessed parasocially with other people's lives, I can't wait to have you back. I want you to write in the chat. I want you to ask if you're banned or unbanned, and I'm going to welcome you back with open arms. Daddy's home, boys. Daddy's home. All right, we have our first NFL firing. Oh, don't worry. We're going to just a little, guys, forgive me. A little sports. That's it. Just a little sports at the top of the show. Then you guys will get into Jews and Trump and blah, 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 and Jimmy Kimmel. I do like the Jimmy Kimmel clip, though. He says there's no such thing as antifa. Well, that's good. One less thing. So glad Jimmy Kimmel let me know that there's no such thing as it. You know who's going to be really pissed to hear that? Antifa. They're going to be really mad to find out they don't exist. All that work for shit. But I want to start with sports because we have our first firing of the NFL season. I lost this bet. Somebody asked me a while back. They said, Aaron, who's going to be the first coach to be fired in the NFL? And I said, Mike McDaniel from Miami. I said, the Dolphins coach is going to be canned. That team is rudderless. I stand by that. They're still dog shit. But Mike McDaniel has survived this first round of firings, but Brian Callahan did not. The Titans head coach has been fired. He's the first one to go. So if you're a Titans fan, though, you guys are like, what, 1-5? You got to be pretty happy. Kind of sucks for a quarterback, though. Like, they have a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward. Not good to be firing your coach year one. I think if you've got the number one overall pick, unless your coach is like going into his second year, you really should, in my opinion, you should be getting a new coach to go along with your new quarterback that kind of fit for each other. But Callahan's out. The Titans are dog shit. But the thing is, the Titans were supposed to be dog shit. Like, none of this is a surprise. But he's the first guy out of there. He's not going to be the last guy out of there. There's a lot of teams that are struggling right now. And I could see him, I could see him being joined in the next couple weeks by a few other coaches. Again, I don't know why. Miami is not going to go anywhere with McDaniel. I mean, he's shown flashes in the past, but whatever magic he had is spent, man. He's done. Thank you very much to Adam Simon, who gifted a membership. Who got that one? Josie Wales. There we go. The Outlaw says, Outlaw got unbanned as well. He says, asking for a pal, do you accept donations? Why, yes, we do. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. Thank you so much. No Pen 15 Fathead gifting a membership, and Shit Show got it. There you go. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Menthol Man's happy to be free. See, this is what I'm about. Putting a smile on everybody's face. Just putting a smile on everybody's face and making them happy. That's what I do better than anyone else. It's like Santa, year round. The Outlaw says, LOL, I will donate. You know you'd better. You'd better. I think it's only fair. Scarface, who used to be a big fan of the show. I don't know what I did to hurt him personally, but he actually does have a good line here. I like it when he, I like it when he plays along a little bit and isn't such a sourpuss. Scarface says, the color you're wearing is fitting for the 8 days you're going to serve. One way or the other. Well, this is red, though. This isn't orange. I prefer more the black and white stripes thing. I like the old school look. I'm more of a throwback guy, but hey, apparently you don't get to make your own decisions. You don't get to make your own decisions out there. They get to tell you, did you know this? When you go there, they get to tell you what you can do and when you can do it. This is a fucking prison? Christ. Pants Maestro says, are we all unbanned? You know what? It ain't right. Why is Pants Maestro sitting there with no membership? I don't like it. Change that. Change that right now. Also, Balls Deep is now in fourth place with $20. Thank you, Balls. And now we have Simon not quite in the cuck chair, as TDR Shit Show is in it now with $16. Zen Man falling out at 11. Sorry about that. Mondays are tricky for keeping up with this stuff. Good. All caught up. Look at this. Cloud Scam is happy to be unbanned. The Outlaw says, how about black and white with a swag bag? Can you believe that, Outlaw? So not only do I not get to choose if I wear the black and white stripes, but yeah, there's no swag bag. You would think, like, if I leave, whether I leave on weekends or after I leave after a week, I really, like, to not get a gift bag seems rather rude. You know? Like, no, not even like even one of those shitty ones you got in school at like an assembly that had like the rubber eraser and a shitty pencil. And maybe if you were lucky, one of those tricolor marker things. Or one of those pens with like 8 different colors that worked for like a week. Nothing. In fact, that's what I hear. Maybe, you know what? I'll work on it from the inside. Maybe I'll politic a little bit. I'll see what I can do. All right, speaking of football, we've got this one. Then we got to move on to the stuff that you guys like. Don't worry. No more man stuff after this. The Chiefs-Lions game last night. I didn't watch it, but I did see the highlights of the brawl afterward. I want to thank all the Chiefs fans in our audience tonight. You did the Vikings a solid. You kept us one game out of first place. One game in the win column, tied in the loss column. So we're 3-2. The Lions are now 4-2. We beat the struggling Eagles next week, possibly with J.J. McCarthy at the helm. The Vikings are right there. Vikings are tied for first place. So thank you to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Brian Branch, a cornerback for the Lions, he was not happy. He was not happy with the result of the game, not happy with coming up short to the struggling Chiefs, and he decided to take it out on Juju Smith-Schuster of the Chiefs. This was not received well. This will be met with a fine, probably a suspension. Here it is from last night's Sunday night football game. Let's check it out.
There are going to be times that star players are going to go out.
There you go.
Going to have to play.
Final knee, end of the game. Here we go.
Kansas City gets the victory, 30-17. As Patrick Mahomes beats Jared Goff. And there's we got a little fight here, a little altercation going on. I don't know what started it.
Well, Brian Branch was involved in something, and there was a little exchange, and then people came running. I think that was Juju Smith-Schuster who came running into that.
I just glanced up and saw.
Now they'll show the replay. You'll see the replay in a minute here. Brian Branch just comes up to Juju Smith-Schuster and gives him like a heel of his palm shove up to his face mask as they're going to shake hands. I thought it was 30-24. The Lions lost. It was 30-17. So not close. But Branch goes up. I think they're going to show it here on the replay. Branch goes up to Schuster and just jams him right in the face mask.
The Chiefs dragged him out of there.
And I'm glad this happened because it shows what pieces of shit the Lions are. I don't like them. They're all cunts. Dan Campbell is a giant ape caveman retard.
So let's see. Okay, let's see.
I'm also a Vikings fan, so I'm incredibly biased.
End of the game there. Branch walking by.
So Mahomes goes to give him a handshake. Branch gives him nothing.
Doesn't put his hand out.
So then there's Schuster.
And then Branch and Juju continue to pass.
Look at that right there.
He gives Juju a shot, who goes down, and that's where the whole thing began. It was Pacheco, Branch, Juju, and other players.
I mean, just a shithead classless move from a shithead classless team. I haven't heard anything yet today about fines or suspensions, but hopefully it's Heavy. Brian Branch. What do we know? Suspended 1 game. So he ain't playing, well, next week unless they have a bye. It is that time of year. The Lions play Monday, October 19th. So they do play this week. So Brian Branch will not be playing on Monday Night Football against the Bucks, and that is a bad game to miss because Baker Mayfield is bawling his dick off right now. If you're a Tampa fan, you're so happy. Baker Mayfield is one tough son of a bitch. They had like a 3rd and 14 this week against San Francisco, and Baker Mayfield ran for the first down like a man possessed, just throwing defenders off of him. The guy's hitting his prime. He's really, really good. And to be honest, especially with Brian Branch out of the equation, I'm going to go ahead and favor the Bucks next week. I'm favoring the Bucks over the Lions. And God, if we can pull that off. If we can pull that off on Sunday against the Eagles, holy shit. And then we're in first place. I'm excited. I'm excited for this week. Coming off the bye, we're gonna get healthy. JJ might be back. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm believing again. I know you guys tell me not to believe. I know you tell me not to do this to myself, but after 38 years of being a Vikings fan, there's no other thing to do. You get excited. You get pumped. You believe in the team. We're 3-2, coming out of the bye. This is it. We're going to beat the fucking Eagles. And then we got the Chargers coming up. They're a mess. They're full of injuries. Their offensive line is riddled with maladies. Then you got the Ravens, who are an absolute dumpster fire shit show. You got Lamar Jackson all banged up. Then you got the Lions. They don't know their head from their asshole. They don't know whether to shit or wind their watch. I think this run of 4 games, which looked like a nightmare at the beginning of the year, we might go 4-0. Vikings might be 6-2 at the end of this damn thing, sitting there at the tippy top of the NFC North. I'm sorry, I'm showing my age a little bit. I like this, guys. Now, come back Monday when I'm ready to hang myself from the fucking ceiling beam because we got blown the fuck out by the Eagles. But don't worry. You know what the wonderful thing about Vikings football is? We'll run off a couple of wins against teams we have no business beating, and we'll be back to believing. And then when we're 10-7 and we're in the wild card round and we are playing a kind of a questionable team with a banged up offensive line, we'll get really excited again and fuck the whole thing up. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. T. Jefferson says, doing Macho Man impressions gives away your age, bro. No, it doesn't. Yeah, get a little win against the Eagles. Yeah, Baker Mayfield and the Bucks beating up on the Lions. Yeah, it's going to get freaky at the top. Young men can do Macho Man impressions. He transcends the generations. Transcends. MSO says, don't worry, Aaron, they will Epstein you in jail. No, they won't. I got too much to lip. They're not. It's not going to happen. I don't have any Mossad connections. Halada Fagina says, keep hoping for the Vikings because Drake May will have the Patriots in multiple Super Bowls. I mean, maybe, but he is in the AFC, so you know he's going to meet in those multiple Super Bowls. A man drafted just 7 or 8 spots behind him, J. McCarthy. You know what? I'll be honest. We might be ready for the Super Bowl this year. Okay, no, all right. All right, maybe not. But you know what? Why not us? I ask you. Why not us? All right, I'm done. I promise. I'm done with football. Thank you for indulging me. I appreciate it. Thank you, YouTube, for all those gifted memberships. I appreciate that as well. We're at about 1,000 between YouTube and Rumble in terms of memberships. I appreciate that. Hit like, hit subscribe in honor of the mass unblocking here on Steel Toe. And, hey, come in, have some fun with us tonight. That's all we're looking to do. Speaking of football, real quick, and then I promise I'll move on. You got this Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show, and I guess because it's 2025 in the United States, everything's fucking political now. And because Bad Bunny is some fucking inner tube kid or so, I don't know. Isn't he Puerto Rican? So he's American. Who gives a fuck? This Puerto Rican guy is going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show. The Puerto Rican guy said that he's not going to be touring in the United States because he doesn't want ICE raiding his concerts. He has a lot of Latino fans, and he's worried they might be here illegally and they might get deported by ICE. So he said he's not going to tour in the U.S. All right, that's his decision. That's fine. A lot of people didn't think that was fine, and they're mad at him. Well, then they gave him the Super Bowl, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. You won't tour in the United States, but you'll take the Super Bowl gig. Whatever. Fans got mad. I don't know why. It's the fucking Super Bowl. If you watch the halftime show, most of the time you're gay anyway because it's like Lady Gaga or it's Beyonce. You could watch the Prince one. You could watch the Aerosmith one. You could watch the rap one they had last year or the year before. But like most of the time, you go and you take a shit or you go and you clean up in the kitchen if you got people over. You take some garbage out. You get some time to get ahead on some things. And then you come back when the game's back on. You don't give a shit if there's some fucking Puerto Rican jumping bean hopping around on the stage. Who gives a shit? But it's America. Everything's got to be political now. And if you don't hate Bad Bunny playing at halftime of the Super Bowl, you're a disgusting, bloody-toothed communist who wants to tear apart the Constitution and throw it in a bonfire. So people have come up with some ideas. Turning Point USA is doing their own halftime show. I guess they're talking about Kid Rock, Ted Nugent, Travis Tritt doing a halftime show for the Super Bowl. Great, wonderful. If people want to do halftime shows, go ahead. Now fans are petitioning the NFL to have George Strait take over the halftime show at the Super Bowl from Bad Bunny. Now, let me tell you why this is a bad idea. There's a myriad of reasons. Number one, look, I love George Strait. I like country music. I do. I appreciate the spot that George Strait holds in its history. I've been to a George Strait concert. He is boring as fuck. He's dreadful. He's awful. And he's got a casino bingo hall audience. You don't want George Strait playing at the Super Bowl. Have you ever seen a guy sit there with an acoustic guitar, stand in the same place and sing a song? Then you've seen George Strait. No reason for George Strait to play a Super Bowl halftime show. It's just not that speed. He's also like 75 years old. Don't do that to a senior citizen. You want to have some wacky Puerto Rican borderline Sean Paul guy in there jumping around with a bunch of hoochie mama strippers singing God knows what. Who gives a shit if it's Bad Bunny? It's fine. I think the great litmus test should be, do you care about the Super Bowl halftime show? If the answer is no, you're watching the game for the right reasons. If the answer is yes, I'm excited, or yes, and I'm mad, you're gay, and I'm banning you from watching the game this year. See? I just settled it. But multiple petitions have popped up online after the NFL announced the king of Latin trap. That sounds like a prostitution sting, Latin trap. Okay. Or that's, you know what that is? That's when the Latino girl wraps her legs around you, holds you in so she can get pregnant. That's a Latin trap. You didn't know about that. Very popular in the hood. I know these things from my time on the inside. The King of Latin Trap would headline the Super Bowl halftime show, sparking enormous controversy. Some fans would rather see 73-year-old Strait, widely regarded as one of the biggest and best country music stars ever, with over 1,000 fans putting their John Hancocks to the change.org petition. Dude, 1,000? 1,000 on an internet poll? Oh, it's up to... Oh, there's one that wants to replace Bad Bunny, and it's up to 10,000 signatures. That's not bad. But I don't know. I just can't. Maybe I'm getting old. I just can't work up the outrage anymore to get mad about the Super Bowl halftime show as if it fucking mattered. But people do. They don't want that Puerto Rican guy running around. Did you ever see that Tommy Lahren interview. She was being interviewed by Crystal Ball from Breaking Points, and she was trying. Tommy Lahren was trying to explain why Bad Bunny shouldn't be allowed to play the Super Bowl halftime show, and I'm pretty sure that Tommy Lahren did not know that Puerto Rico was part of the United States. I'm pretty sure. Let me find the clip for you. It'll only take a minute. You remember Tommy Lahren? She was like the Nazi Barbie. I'm kidding, but she was like a super conservative, but like old-timey, old man Fox News conservative. Not like the really awesome conservatives now that like hate the Israelis, not the cool conservatives. This was like your traditional gay, boring conservative. Here it is. Here she is talking to Crystal Ball about why this Bad Bunny interview is a bad idea. And Crystal Ball kind of catches her here. Let's pop this one up.
But do you think Bad Bunny is a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal.
Bingo. See? Be like Crystal. That's the right answer. Nobody should give a shit.
Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but...
By the way, was that did Tommy Lahren marry a black guy? Did you hear I swear to God, I thought I heard the chirp.
Sure.
He's not an American artist, but...
It did. That was a chirp. Tommy Lahren. God damn, it really is crossing over. I don't like it.
He's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
Yeah, you don't think you have any problem with him saying like the ICE is, well, I'm sure you don't, mother effers and sons of and that he's not going to perform here.
She totally glossed over the fact that she forgot Puerto Rico was part of the United States. Watch it again. I know that she'll write it off as like, no, he's not an American. No. I meant because you said bad shit about ICE. Bitch didn't know Puerto Rico was part of the United States.
But
he's seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American.
Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
It's part of America, dear. You know what it is? Women know how to do this so well. It's the dear part that's especially shitty.
Yeah, you don't think you have any problem with him saying like the ICE is, well, I'm sure you don't, mother effers and sons of and that he's not going to perform here due to immigration.
I actually don't have a problem with that, and I'll tell you why. ICE gets to have machine guns, and they get to go into places, rip people out of them, and then have to explain themselves much, much later. You get to call them motherfuckers. You get to call them sons of bitches. When they can put automatic weapons on people dressed in full body armor and just go rip people out of their place of business or their home. Look, I'm pro enforcing our immigration laws. Deport illegals. Every person who's here illegally, deport them. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, ICE doesn't need you to simp for them. You don't need to sit there and go, can you believe this rapper, this 5'6" rapper who's probably 140 pounds soaking wet? He called ICE sons of bitches and motherfuckers. Well, first of all, he's Latino, so it's a good business move. But second of all, yeah, they get to shoot people and use flashbangs and rip people out of homes and workplaces. You get to call them all kinds of mean words. You can call them gay if you want to.
America agrees with him on that.
The
Majority of Americans think ICE has gone too far. They've watched videos of 79-year-old business owners be slammed to the ground and their ribs broken by ICE. So I think the American people are probably on board with that message at this point, Tom.
Did that happen? I always press X to doubt on a lot of liberal stories about immigration. 78-year-old man, ICE. Surveillance footage shows ICE agents, I'll take a look, 2 weeks ago. Surveillance video from September 9th, the day before Charlie Kirk was killed, shows an ICE agent pushing a 79-year-old man to the ground during an immigration raid. That's it. But they're just, look, he was running that way. The other guy was running the other way. U.S. citizen Rafi Shawad says the agent stormed into his car wash. Well, yeah, that guy's a citizen. I'm sure he didn't get deported, but it's a fucking car wash. You don't think he's got a bunch of border jumpers working for him? Come on. It's a fucking car wash. Might as well rename it ICE. So there you go. He doesn't look like he has broken ribs. Video outside the car wash shows ICE agents apprehending an employee. There you go. Uh-oh. Well, now you're putting your hands on an officer. Dude, don't do that. He's pushed to the ground once again. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're not fucking around with this guy.
I was begging him. I have a heart condition. 3 big people were sitting on my back.
Well, then don't run out there and start pushing ICE agents. What the fuck are you doing? Like, were these guys a little too aggressive with a 78-year-old man? I mean, really, if you even push down on a 78-year-old man, you're probably being tougher on him than you need to. But it's also, like, use your head. Don't put yourself in a position to be fucking taken down like that. You ran out there. Those guys were apprehending an illegal immigrant, and you're running out there shoving an armed federal agent? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Told me down, sitting on me, and I asked him to let me go, which they absolutely would not pay no attention. And they took me to detention center.
His lawyer's like, now make sure when you're giving this statement that you pause to hold your ribs every so often. Let them know that it hurts, that they injured you very badly. Shoehead was detained at a federal detention center for nearly 12 hours before being released. So no charges. There we go. I mean, it wasn't quite as dramatic as Crystal Ball made it sound. Oh, they apprehended him. They slammed him to the ground. They broke his ribs. And all right, relax. The first one was kind of unfortunate. He's running one way. The ICE agent's running the other. They kind of get caught in a bottleneck there. That sucks. But the second one, you ran out there. You put your hands on fucking armed police. You out of your fucking gourd, brother? Jesus. Funeral director with $2 says Tommy's parents are from Cuba. Oh, okay. All right. Sam Show says, I mean, they did slam him to the ground twice. I mean, the first one was, as they say in sports, incidental contact. The second one, they intentionally slammed his ass to the ground. But she made it sound like they were deporting this guy and he was just an innocent bystander. I don't know. It just doesn't, it's not exactly the way they made it out to be. Hobo Chili says, well, if he ran his routes correctly, keep your head on a swivel. Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says, when you say you are watching pro wrestling, I assume you are watching this. Oh, God. What is it?
A man chiseled from granite. Hunter Gallagher with no shortage of confidence here tonight, Remy.
That's not what I'm watching.
I think we're in for a treat here tonight, Jordan.
Man, one fall to a finish. Submission, pinfall. You got to think you have to have, forgive the cliche, but eyes in the back of your head with competitors as fast and furious.
It's not. No. No, I wasn't watching that. Now, I don't expect anyone to believe me, but I was not watching that. The Outlaw over on YouTube says American officers don't play around. They really don't, and a lot of the time they go way too far. But like to use it as a reason why, like what I don't like is that people who tend to lean more middle to center left, they see stuff like that and they go, oh my God, we have to stop doing it's like, dude, this is what you supported. Like if you voted for Trump, this is what you voted for. How did you think deporting illegals was going to go? That we were going to tell them, oh, hey, by the way, you're illegal, you got to go. And they were like, oh, yeah, we'll take the first flight out in the morning. No. It was going to take them rounding people up. They were going to have to go to businesses, raid it, take illegals out, and deport them out of and start the process of deporting them out of the country. That's how they're going to have to do it. Outlaw says they beat you without reason and we want compensation is what she's saying. Maybe. Hunter with $10 says, we live in a world where people think they can walk up to a man with a rifle and body armor and lay hands on them with zero consequences. If they suffer any repercussions, they are the victims. Look, it's never going to look good when you throw a 78-year-old man to the ground. It's never going to be like, oh, yeah, that was appropriate. It's always going to look bad. But I don't know what other ending you want to a guy going out and grabbing armed officers and pushing them around. Bill Capri says he let that... See, I can't do anything right. Bill Capri writes, he let that play way too long. I knew I was going to get that. I knew somebody was going to say, I don't know, Aaron, you seem to watch that and enjoy that a little too long. I got it. By the way, you guys are 155 away from tomorrow night's goal. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all the Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. What I'd really like from you, though, is for you to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow. That's the best. And if you got unblocked today, feel free to throw a couple bucks or a couple memberships at the toe, and we'll continue our jailbreaking efforts here on Steel Toe. Well, it happened. Donald Trump created world peace. There's no more war. They all ended today. I'm just kidding. The Israelis just stopped leveling hospitals for the time being, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's good. Hamas releasing the hostages. That's good. I think those hostages are the victim of Mossad allowing October 7th to happen so that Israel could flatten Gaza these last 2 years. But we finally got a peace deal. It was Donald Trump's peace deal. Hamas agreed to it. Then the Knesset signed off on it. I mean, fair is fair. Donald Trump gets all the credit on this one. The only thing that makes me nervous is guys like George Tenet, Bill Clinton, like a lot of globalist people are like really excited about this, and they're all giving Trump credit. I don't like that. That makes me so nervous that like super globalist, super tied in, like super one world government type people are like, oh, people who, by the way, have never said a nice word about Donald Trump ever are going, this is great. Oh man, Donald deserves a lot of credit. You got to give it to him on this one. That silence is killing me. You know, no pushback. It makes me feel like Don's kind of being taken for a ride here. Well, I will say this, like the non-government organization that's going to be overseeing the peace in Gaza, that's going to be like implementing the 20 steps of this peace deal where Israel continues to pull back further and further. It's going to be led by a group spearheaded by Tony Blair. Tony Blair has been raising money for the Israelis for years now since he left office in the UK. Like Tony Blair, they leaked a bunch of emails on Friday. Tony Blair was one of the recipients who's been working with the Israeli government through his nonprofit that he has, kind of like the British Clinton Foundation, only it's Tony Blair. He's going to be leading the whole thing. Marco Rubio was also on that email list talking to Miriam Adelson and a bunch of other Zionists and Jewish government people. They were like, we're going to tell Donald Trump that he's got to pick you as Secretary of State. You're our guy. A lot of backhanded, backroom dealing shit in these emails. And a lot of these people ended up in the Trump cabinet. So I'm not super thrilled about who's involved and who's running it. But hey, they got the genocide to stop. They got the Israelis to stop killing. You know, it's amazing. I'm hearing people say, you know, people who were saying that it wasn't a genocide and the Palestinian people weren't being starved. Those same people are now saying, oh, the food can finally get into Gaza. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought these people weren't being starved. Well, I thought they were all getting 4,000 calories a day. That's what I kept hearing from the pro-Israel people. They're like, it's not a genocide. And their answer to that was so weird. They were like, if Israel wanted to commit a genocide, they could do it in 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, number one, that's troubling. That's fucked up. But number two, it might even be worse if you're saying they're not trying to commit a genocide or an ethnic cleansing and they're still doing it. I mean, intentional or not good. But then they would also say, like, they're not starving the Palestinians. They're getting enough food in there to get 4,000 calories a day. And it's like, okay, enough food being sent in is different than enough food being distributed. Because when 72 children and women get shot at a food checkpoint in Gaza in one day, people might be a little skittish to go get the food. And then when the IDF shoots on the aid workers who come in to try and help those people, it does make the food thing a little bit tricky. But Trump was celebrating. Trump was very happy about this, and a lot of other people were happy about this as well. And they should be. They should be happy about it because, for God's sake, at least a war ended. So Trump was glad-handing. He was shaking hands with a bunch of different world leaders. One of them was Emmanuel Macron of France. Now, you might know Emmanuel Macron as the guy who married a dude with a cock named Brigitte. Don't say that too loud, because as Candace Owens has proved, they might fucking sue you over it. But Emmanuel Macron went to shake hands with Donald Trump, and they had like one of the weirdest tug of war, test of strength, staring contest things. This was really awkward. This is Macron and Trump doing like almost like a G.I. Joe, I got your six, brother, kind of a handshake at the Mideast Peace Summit. Take a look.
An interesting change. As we see the president there with the French President Macron in Sharm el-Sheikh, the leaders of some 35 countries, according to the president, gathering there for a peace summit. Now, there is a bro shake. If ever I've looked, we won't let go. Okay, you let go.
It's just like, you could tell, I thought by the body language that Trump was like, maybe not shitting on him, but he was being very stern with him. And Macron was being very taken aback and defensive. His eyes were all big, like he was about to start doing a fucking haka dance. I would love to know what Donald Trump said to Emmanuel Macron. Just, all right, hold on to my hand here. Your wife's got a dick, doesn't she? No, I swear to God, Mr. President, she doesn't have a dick. She's got a dick. I know a girl who's hiding a tuck job, and she's one of them. No, I promise. I swear that's not the case. Don't bullshit me. No, I'm serious. I wish it were that, but it was probably something about a fucking pipeline or how much money France is sending into NATO or drop the Candace Owens lawsuit, something like that. But either way, it's just such a, like, Trump has that knack of having these big events, but like he can't keep it about that event, and he's got to do something awkward. You know, like when he has the Canadian Prime Minister in and he goes, we got to talk about your country merging with ours. And it's like, you know that pisses him off. You know he's just going to get mad and pouty, and I feel like you're doing it intentionally. Sam Show says Macron supports Palestine. It was literally because of Jews again. Oh, they're yelling about that. Okay. And then also, like, Trump talking about Miriam Adelson and his other donors and everything. I don't know. There's something about this peace deal. I'm glad it got done, but I don't trust it. I just feel like because we're so on Israel's side, like we bankroll them. You know, sometimes it feels like we're their dog and they've got us on a leash. Sometimes it feels like they're our dog and we've got them on a leash. I just have a hard time believing that we came up with a peace plan that's in any way friendly to the Palestinian people. That there's a lot of wiggle room in there for Israel to fuck around, and there's like zero wiggle room for the Palestinians to fuck around. You know? It's just, and then with Tony Blair running the whole thing, and then Israel, you know, the occupation doesn't stop. It's like Israel pulls back in phases, even though Hamas has to, they freed all the hostages now. Israel should have to go all the way back to the border, but that's not the case. I feel like they're waiting, and Israel's going to take either some false flag or some little thing that the Palestinians do. They're going to blow it up into this big deal, and they're going to use it as a reason to go in and take the rest of it. And again, that's either because I'm paranoid, I'm anti-Israel, or I've just been paying attention. One of the three. Mr. Q says he's French. He's lucky he didn't kiss him. Well, I mean, some would argue that Emmanuel Macron is into dudes. Some would say his wife's got a cock. Some of those people are Candace Owens. And she wants to like go all the way with this. She's like, I want to go to Discovery. See, the thing about Discovery is if you go to Discovery on a civil case, it's not like a criminal case where you got to stick to the very narrow, rigid facts of the case. You can bring up every dirt on that person in a civil case. You can bring up every embarrassing thing. You got a lot of leeway to just throw shit at the wall. So as the person being sued, Candace Owens can go ahead and dig as deep as she wants to and throw as much shit at the wall as she can. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to settle this thing. Let's go all the way. Candace Owens is almost at the point where she's like, I want her to whip out her pussy live in court if that's what we have to do. I think that's what she's going for. I hate it when numero uno Josh Denny fan says shit that I'm kind of thinking. It makes me really nervous because, we're not even done with the first hour of the show yet tonight. And I'm like, boy, time is moving really slow. God, it feels like it's not moving very quick. And then numero uno in the chat says, is it just me or is the show particularly boring today? Dude, it's not just you. I kind of feel like it's just and it's not the material. It's not like the topics or the stuff that we've picked. I feel like I'm off, if that makes sense. Thank you to Diamonds and Henna for gifting a membership over on YouTube. Very much appreciate it. Hey, by the way, you guys are $150 away from tomorrow night's goal. I appreciate that. It does look like tomorrow we'll be back to goals for the first time in 2 weeks. I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate you giving us these last couple weeks. It's been awesome. Kevin's soundboard is the one who got that membership. Thank you. Over on the Rumble side of things, let's see if we can get 20 memberships tonight. We're 19 away from 500. Let's show that morning program that we can stay ahead. The morning show, they made it 2 weeks as well. I got to give them their credit, but they've got a goal tomorrow. You guys might not. We'll see how it goes. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, I've got 3 different plans for the show that could instantly improve it. Oh, you know what, buddy? I'm all ears. Normally I would say that it's a bunch of shit. I don't need your fucking help. But you know what? Today, I might listen to suggestions for today's show. Oh, my God. I just saw a breaking news thing. And I swear to God, I thought it said Mitt Romney found dead near SoCal shopping mall. In little print, and they did this on purpose. It says Mitt Romney's sister-in-law found dead near SoCal shopping mall. Now, I don't want to hear anybody say oh, man, that's too bad. No, we don't want to see Mitt Romney die. That's not what we want. We don't want Mitt Romney to, wanting Mitt Romney to die is a good sign that you're too into politics, because what the fuck is Mitt Romney doing at this point? Kraken Slappin' says, maybe you're just getting used to being bored for your jail stay. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm purposely doing a boring show tonight so that I can get used to my weekend. I see. Spina says, Rich Tomorrow is streaming right now. I'll tip a $50 if you call him a cuck so I can send to him, fam. Who's Rich? Who's Rich? You got to help me out. I don't know who Rich is. You throw me $50 and put in the message what you want me to send to Rich. You throw me $50, you put it in the message, you got yourself a goddamn deal, buddy. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says Aaron's new ex-wife is going to steal all of his money and run off to Thailand. Now, why? Why would she do something like that? And why would you want something like that to happen? Red Fox mad. What a terrible thing. 145 by the by. 145 away from tomorrow night. I wish I knew who this Rich was. I'm all for $50 donations, first of all. That's why. Number one, I'm a hoe. But number two, I don't know who Rich is. I like to get to know the people I'm about to insult for money. You know, it feels really impersonal. Spina says he calls you a Republican. He was Review Tech USA. Oh, Review Tech USA, Rich? I like him. And I am I think a lot of people would consider me right wing. That's fine. I got some shit I'm liberal about. But it's probably overshadowed by the right wing stuff. So you know what, Spina? You throw me $50. You put in there what you want me to say to Rich. I'm all for it. You know me. I'm all for having a good time, God damn it. All right, let's continue on here. So there's one person who is not happy about Donald Trump and his trip to Israel. There's one guy shitting on the whole thing. I'll tell you what I was pissed off about. Every time that fuckhead war criminal Netanyahu comes to the United States and he makes a speech, there's Israeli flags everywhere. We've got our American flags. We've got the Israeli flags. Japan comes here. There's a Japanese flag on one side. There's American flag on the other. Trump goes to the Knesset today, goes to make his speech. It's an Israeli flag on one side, a bigger Israeli flag on the other side, and then a much bigger Israeli flag smack dab in the center. No American flags. Motherfucker, we give you $4 billion a year at minimum. We came up with this peace deal while the entire world was ready to burn you down as war criminals. You can't throw a flag up there? Like any of us who have been in sales before knows, the more money the client brings in for you, the more you suck the client's dick and smooch their asshole. We are the big gun. We're the big guy. We're the ones who are responsible for this whole thing. You can't throw some old glory out there. I don't like the subtle moves that Israel does to let us know that they own us. It really does annoy the shit out of me. And you cannot tell me that there's some rule about the Knesset where they don't put another flag in there. This was them being passive aggressive and being cunty towards us, not putting an American flag up while Trump was speaking. It's because we made them stop their war in Gaza. It's because we didn't let them conquer Gaza, and they're being passive-aggressive little bitches about it, not putting up an American flag. It's a we own you move. It's a we'll do whatever we want to move. It's a move of defiance. And you can tell me it's not. You can give me all kinds of evidence. It's one of those things that I just kind of feel in my bones that it's Israel fucking with us. Well, the one guy who did not like what Trump was doing today was the one and only Nicholas J. Fuentes. He was tweeting about it. He tweeted today, Trump's celebratory speech in Israel is disgusting, praises Miriam Adelson for being Israel first, calls Netanyahu to be pardoned. Yeah, that was gross too. Trump said that Netanyahu should be pardoned for his corruption charges and all that bullshit. Bullshit. Trump just simping for Netanyahu. That was an American president going to Israel and simping for their leader and trying to get them out of trouble. Then calls Miriam Adelson, praises Miriam Adelson. She's the Zionist billionaire who basically funded a big chunk of Trump's campaign. So then when Trump becomes president, all of the guys she likes that are huge pro-Israel guys like Rubio and others get forced down his throat. Yay. And within minutes of the war ending, they began to whitewash what happened in Gaza and get everyone to move on. We will never forget, Fuentes tweeted. Well, I'm in defense of them, that kind of happens with every ceasefire. That's kind of the point of a ceasefire, is you kind of got to forgive, forget, and move on. The only problem is in that part of the world, you forgive, you forget, you try to move on. Somebody breaks the ceasefire and the war's on again. We'll enjoy this one as long as it lasts, but I really don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know how long this ceasefire is going to hold. Spina says, I ain't tipping till you get rid of Johnny. That food voice is annoying in the morning. Oh, that foos voice. He's trying to say that foos voice. So wait a minute. You're not going to give me the $50? Well, then I'm not going to say that about Rich. I think Rich is a wonderful guy who's doing his best. Now, if you say different for $50, I'll be here. All right, we got, don't worry, I've got this one, Bapa Shab, for tomorrow. Guess who was at the Knesset? Guess who wouldn't miss the big peace deal being announced at the Knesset and Donald Trump being there? Israel's favorite son, Mr. Israel First himself, fucking Ben Shapiro wormed his way out there. God, fucking guy. And he's so happy. Look at that. Look at Big Benny just smiling all big. See, that's why I'm really skeptical of this deal. Because Ben Shapiro's smiling ear to ear. Netanyahu's thrilled. Trump's talking about getting rid of the war crimes charges. It just seems to me like the Israelis are way too happy about this deal for it to be a fair deal. And again, it was negotiated by their biggest benefactor. You know, and the Palestinians are celebrating it, the ceasefire getting signed too. But I mean, they'll celebrate anything that stops their women and children from being slaughtered in the streets. I mean, they don't really have a lot of say in the geopolitics of it all. It just seems like the deck is really stacked against the Palestinians in this peace deal. If Israel sticks to it and Israel keeps pulling back and keeps giving Gaza back to the Palestinians, then I'm going to be so happy to admit I was wrong. And after all, when has Israel ever broken a ceasefire? In fact, let's Google it. I bet you they never break ceasefires. How many ceasefires has Israel broken? I bet you it's maybe 2. Let's take a look here. How many ceasefires have there been? After committing over 1,000 violations of the ceasefire agreement, Israel has decided to totally collapse the agreement. So, 1,000 violations of ceasefires. Yeah, but this will be different. Yeah, according to Palestinian officials, Israel committed over 1,000 violations of the agreement, including killing more than 100 civilians in direct attacks and hindering aid deliveries. All right, let's say the Palestinians are exaggerating. Let's say it's only a quarter of what they say it is. That's still 250 violations of a ceasefire agreement. Jesus. Now, I think part of this peace deal is that Hamas has to disband, that they're not allowed to have any governing role in Gaza. Now, there's ways around that. You can just reform as another group. You know, you can just call yourself something else and just be the same Hamas guys. But here's the thing. Then does Israel use that as, hey, look, they broke the peace agreement. We're going to go back in there. See, that's what I'm worried about. Stolen Hellcat says 109 violations, 1,030 times. Oh, very funny. Nick Fuentes replied to Ben Shapiro's tweet by saying you should stay there, actually. I mean, that's not a bad idea because, like, Ben Shapiro would be happier if he stayed in Israel. A lot of us here in America would be happier if he stayed in Israel. So how is it not a win-win if Ben decides to stick around, right? Adam Simon gifting another membership. Thank you very much. And that one went to Aaron Imholt quotes, another person I unbanned tonight because I thought, you know what? A lot of people who just like to have a little fun and fuck around, they got caught up in the dragnet. I'm glad that guy got a membership. There we go. You guys are 145 away from tomorrow night. Thank you very much. Throw us a couple of bucks here and there. We appreciate all of you hanging out with the toe. Back on Mondays. Oh, that's right. This is our first Monday back, isn't it? It's our first Monday back in months. I looked at the numbers just now. We're barely over 200 if you count the other ones. Those are dismal numbers. Thank God we didn't have any goals for the first Monday show back. It's going to take a minute. I remember when we started doing Thursday night shows, and it was bad. Like, bad. So, good thing there's no goal tonight. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Maybe we'll find some new people this evening. No Pen 15 Fathead gifting a membership over on YouTube. Thank you very much. Michael Redan got that one. And we're 140 away from tomorrow night. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been on a Monday. Thank you. Adam Simon gifting another membership. That's going to be $20 for Adam Simon. Does that get him? Does that put Adam in the cuck chair? Let's take a look. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Adam Simon, $20 in the cuck chair. TDR shit show falling out at 16. There we go. Thank you. The goal is life. Real Jax 2 says, hey, Toe, I know you like country music. I'm sure you like country apparel. Would you like a custom hand-tooled Western belt with your initials? If it's not a trick question, yes. I would love that. That would be great. I would appreciate that greatly if you're not fucking with me. All right, I am flop sweating. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. I think numero uno, Josh Denny fan is right. I'm off tonight. I'm off. Not only that, the evening numbers have been in the toilet lately. Morning numbers looking great. Morning numbers, we were up over in the 700s for most of the show. Evening shows have been steadily declining. It used to be about 300 hanging around at a time on our B show, you know. Now lately it's been around 250. Tonight, way less than that. But it's the evening show is certainly starting to fall off a little. Diamonds in Henna with $4.99 says you unblocked someone today and they're already back in chat. That's a fan. Oh, dude, there's been like a dozen of them. There's been a dozen people that we've unblocked today that have been in the chat and they've already gotten a membership. It's like I said, in honor of the Israeli-Palestinian peace deal, I'm releasing hostages. I'm releasing my own hostages. And then Coach Cumguzzler writes, I'm not a fan. Yes, you are. If you're back that quickly. Well, no, that's true. Coach Cumguzzler is not a fan because he doesn't have a membership yet. What the fuck is that all about? Bo Beats Black Sheep says the goal is life. That's sad. No, it's not. The goal is life. Life is the goal. Are you kidding? That's a beautiful, if you don't understand that that's a beautiful thing, oh my God, we need to throw you in one of our patented steel toe re-education camps. All right, let's see if we can put on an entertaining show for people for the next hour and make it a total change of pace. We got some wacky news to get to. Aaron, why are you shouting? Because I'm nervous and insecure. A Florida man was hit with federal charges this week after he allegedly stole $7,000 in scratch-off lottery tickets from a convenience store, then returned to the scene of the crime hours later to try and redeem his loot. I love him. I love this guy. How do you... Like, you understand, I don't know how many of you have ever played scratch-offs before, but a scratch-off, the concept is very simple. You can buy them at one gas station and you can cash them in at another. Like, you don't have to scratch out. Like some old people, they'll sit there at the counter and they'll scratch them off. Those people should be allowed to have their hips broken legally. But some people will sit there at the counter, they'll scratch them off, and they'll turn them in if they win. You can scratch those off, and you can bring them to another gas station down the road. It's okay. It all gets turned into the Minnesota State Lottery. So this stupid asshole, 43-year-old Justin Farley, goes to a St. Petersburg Circle K on May 5th, opened multiple cabinets, and took scratch-off lottery tickets. By the way, very cool black crime. Just going in there and ripping off the scratch-offs. The only robbery you can do where you are not necessarily guaranteed anything back in return. That would be the best if he jacked $7,000 worth of scratch-off tickets and not one of them was a winner, or, maybe a couple singles. Now, 40 minutes later, Farley arrived at an area 7-Eleven to redeem the $7,000 worth of scratch-offs. After an unsuccessful attempt, the thief returned to the same Circle K he stole them from and tried to cash in on the 7 ticket books he had already stolen from the store. His attempt once again failed. I'll tell you why he failed. Because retard brought all $7,000 worth of lottery tickets to one place. You spread them out. Now, I'm not trying to tell people how to steal scratch-off tickets and return them properly, but Jesus Christ, you steal them and you unload them $100 at a time. I know that, that's going to be 70 stops. You're going to have to redeem these things over the course of like a couple of months, right? You can't just go in there with, nobody is going to take $7,000 worth of scratch-offs and go, oh yeah, you came to buy these, honestly. You got your winners. You're going to take them in like out of $7,000. Maybe you got $2,000, $1,000 worth of winners. You're going to have to take those in to places other than the place that you stole them from. You're going to have to bring them in over time. Jesus. He then left and returned to the Circle K minutes later, only to come up empty a third time. Disparaged, Farley drove back to the 7-Eleven. Are there only 2 gas stations in this whole fucking state? I've been to Florida. There's plenty. He drove back to the 7-Eleven in a black mask, yellow shirt, and black Nikes, and pointed a replica Glock at the clerk, demanding the staffer open the cash register. Fucking hell. He's too stupid. He successfully made off with $120 before escorting the clerk to the back of the store. Oh, no, he did not. No, he didn't. No. I'm going to take this one off the screen for a minute. Guys, he stole one other thing. So he stole the $7,000 worth of scratch-offs. He got the $120 from the register. And then he stole one other item from the store. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and see if you can guess what that other thing was. Now, while you're doing that, I thought if you stole a bunch of lottery tickets and they weren't scanned, you wouldn't be able to redeem them anyway. Like, they have to be scanned in on the barcode or they're basically null and void. Yep, Return Trip got it over on YouTube. Stolen Hellcat got it over on Rumble. No, Brett Malkart, not a watermelon from a grocery store. So he successfully made off with $120 from the register before escorting the clerk to the back of the store and snatching a pack of Newport cigarettes. Even black people are just squeezing the bridge of their nose and going, oh, this nigga here. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is it. I mean, it's so offensive to the stereotype. He might as well have been wearing blackface makeup while he did it. A slew of evidence, including his license plate. Well, I hope you got his license plate. He only gave you 3 chances to get it, including his license plate and surveillance footage, led cops to pull over Farley on May 22nd and book him on commercial burglary and grand theft. After his arrest, Farley told the cops he, quote, needed money. You ever think of stealing a job application from the joint? He admitted to committing the Circle K and 7-Eleven robbery in a recorded interview with cops. It's unclear if he divulged his repeat visits. to both locations. Holy shit, he was charged federally on Tuesday. Federally? Is it the lottery thing, the scratch-off? Is that a federal offense? He now faces 1 count of interference with commerce by threat or violence, a federal charge under the Hobbs Act, which prohibits robbery that affects interstate or foreign commerce. Damn. The dim-witted thief also has you're not going to believe this. He has a significant criminal history, including convictions for felony drug and firearm possession. Well, thank God it's not his first time. Oh, my God. Diamonds and Henna gifting a membership to Regod. There we go. Thank you very much for that membership. I'm glad all the unblocked people are getting memberships. It's only fair. It's only fair. Yep, it is the Newports. People still guessing that you have Newport. People who are behind. No return trip. He did not steal a 12-pack of fried chicken, but that would have been the last thing. People in the chat saying Kool-Aid. Yes. $5 from Real Jacks 2 says, not fucking around. What is your email again? I will send you an email with details. You can text me and we can work out the details. I will not charge you for the belt. Well, here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to send you my email there. Real Jacks 2. Coming at you in the chat. There you go. Thank you very much, buddy. 135 away from tomorrow night's goal. Thank you guys very much. Very sweet of you. Numbers in the absolute shitter for our return to Monday nights, but thank God, no goal tonight. Appreciate it. Matthew Q with $1 says they automatically know from the number of the scratch-off card, the last one they sold, so they will know whatever you stole and it will be reported stolen. So if it's like a big winner, they're going to report you. You're going to get caught because you have to sign the back. Oh, and honestly, he would have signed that back gleefully. He would have printed his name. Let's go ahead and look. I don't mean to do back-to-back black crime stories, but sometimes you come about them honestly. I did nothing about this next story to make it happen. I wasn't looking for it. It just fell into my lap. 135 away from tomorrow night and 19 memberships away from 500. Johnny Gold says 77 in YouTube. Wow, how embarrassing. No, this is an embarrassing night for the toe. It's really bad. Like all told, we're under 200 total tonight. We haven't been on a Monday night in about 2 months. And boy, did I. And now that my daughter has volleyball on Thursdays, I've got to go back to Mondays, and it is not going well. That's for sure. That evening show, while the morning show crowd has been bumping up in recent months, that evening, like I said, that evening show crowd has been dropping. And it's got to be performance related because I haven't changed up anything else, so it's got to fall squarely on my shoulders. Go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, and hit follow, and by God, let's do this pyramid scheme style, and you guys can tell a couple of friends. Now, this next story, it's going to sound like I'm making fun of these people, but I actually think this is kind of brilliant, and I don't blame them for taking a big swing at this one. I mean, aim high. So a series of a group of DMV workers in New York were basically collecting money from truckers or people who wanted to be truckers to put a fast track on their trucking license. Now, these things are very valuable. A CDL is worth a lot of money because you can make a lot of money as an over-the-road trucker. So these people working at the DMV decided, the pay at this menial government job needs to be supplemented. And they used what little power they had. to make a little extra money on the side. I can't say I hate them for it. Let's take a look.
Back now with this wild story on Long Island, where 3 employees of the Garden City DMV are among 7 people indicted in this elaborate cheating scheme.
Prosecutors say they helped applicants skip the required test, and one woman even wore disguises to impersonate test takers.
That's the chick. That's the lady that was part of the scheme. See what I mean? This is smart. I'm not even going to shit on them for it. So you basically let people have a CDL. You don't make them take the test. You take the test for them because you know all the answers. You get the license. You give it to them, and they just got to slip you a little cash under the table. I mean, it's brilliant. It really is a smart hustle if you can get away with it. The only problem is for the rest of us, you're putting a bunch of really underqualified drivers on the road. And this isn't like you're putting a driver on the road who's going to drive a Honda Civic. They're going to have a fucking 18-wheeler they're in charge of. You're basically turning it into an unguided missile.
All 7 are now facing felony charges.
There is a lot going on in this investigation, and Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager live now with the details in Garden City. Stacey.
Well, Mike, we all know the DMV makes us go through certain tests to get our driver's license, and to get a truck driver's license is harder, as it should be. Well, prosecutors say this was really an elaborate corruption scheme, and some of the workers at this DMV almost got away with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm wondering who snitched on him. You know, that's why some of you were like, oh, really? Back-to-back black stories? Bro, only the people in this story have black skin. This is some fucking white crime. This is some Bernie Madoff kind of shit going on. This is a hustle.
Deciding who gets to operate heavy rigs on our roads and highways is not something the New York Department of Motor Vehicles should take lightly.
Bypassing that safeguard is far from a harmless shortcut. It is a dangerous threat to public safety.
But that's exactly what prosecutors here in Nassau County allege in a 51-count felony indictment against 7 different people, including a supervisor at this DMV in Garden City, Kenesha Middleton, and her sister, Jamie Middleton, allegedly taking at least 10 different permit tests for no...
I mean, it's not... Look, man, it's not a bad disguise. I want to shit on every part of this. I really do. I can't. They did a good job. I mean, maybe this is kind of an insult to her, but she looks like a dude.
Show drivers. You can see Jamie in surveillance pictures wearing different disguises, even fake facial hair, as she posed as a man who would...
That was just her pubic hair she shaved that day, and she just thought, you know what, why not?
...be applying for a commercial driving permit, but she forgot to take off her fake nails.
Okay, that's where it stops being a white crime. She forgot to take on the giant fucking claw up your back nails. Yeah, I'm a trucker. I'm here to get my license for a fucking 18-wheeler. Oh, these? Oh, God damn it.
I think it's pretty poor. The fingernails kind of gave it away.
So
she's laughing. The district attorney's not supposed to be laughing at that. The district attorney's supposed to be like, this is a very serious offense. And you're not supposed to be giggling at the black chick keeping her ghetto fingernails on and ruining the whole thing. That is what ruined it, too. They would have gotten away with it if they just would have remembered to leave the nails at home that day.
Did another supervisor who acted at...
But I mean, the nails go with your hair, and you just got your hair did, and what the fuck are you supposed to do? Not accessorize at work? Gay.
As the whistleblower. Prosecutors say the defendants charged as much as $3,000 per permit test. Damn. 2 of them working these counters so they could wave the phony test taker through. Nice. 3 of the drivers who paid the fee ended up with commercial permits, but only 1 passed his road test. James Nurse, who ended up...
Well, that's just the thing. Like, you can take the written test for them, but they're not just going to give you a CDL without taking you out in a semi and seeing if you can drive the thing. So out of these 3 guys, 2 of them paid $3,000 to get the written test taken for them, and then still failed the road. Oh, that sucks. You just blew $3,000. You got nothing for it. That's too bad that they got caught. That really could have added up over time. There's 2 of them. Well, 7 total. But you do 1 of those a week. I mean, that's serious money.
Working here at the Town of Hempstead Recycling Center, where he spent over a year and a half driving a truck.
A government employee licensed only through a lie, driving a massive truck through our streets.
Back here at the DMV, where everyone else jumps through the usual bureaucratic.
I mean, let me ask you a question. You really think all the Somalis on the road are here in Minnesota? You think they're passing the test straight up? You think that illegal from, where was it, India, who killed those 3 people? You think he was passing all the tests straight up? You don't think he was getting help? They've done these stories before where there's like a guy. You pay a guy, you'll put an earpiece in, he'll give you the answers to the tests. It's not the first time these have been scammed. I mean, CDLs are very valuable for people, so they're willing to do just about anything to get them.
Roadblocks just to get a permit or real ID.
That is very disgusting.
It's not safe, so it shouldn't be allowed.
Although some more cynical, not at all surprised.
I understand why someone might do it. I understand the frustration in trying to do it legally. Then
I like this guy. See, the Indian woman's like, this is disgraceful and dishonest. I do not appreciate them doing this. The black guy's like, oh, man, that ain't right. And the white guy's like, look, motherfucker, you overcharge for these fucking licenses. What do you want them to do? I get it.
That safe.
This guy respects the hustle, at least. Oh, we fucked up. We got to go back to, here we go. This is our guy.
It shouldn't be allowed.
Although some more cynical, not at all surprised.
I understand why someone might do it. I understand the frustration in trying to do it legally. Then you know what? Maybe we'll put mustaches on and put funny hats on and try to go around and beat it that way. And for a while, by the way, it worked.
I like this guy. Put him in charge of something.
Yeah, well, now those workers are facing a host of charges, including felonies such as tampering with public records and impairing the integrity of a government licensing exam.
That's
Meanwhile,
the
town
part.
of Hempstead has put out a statement saying they have moved to fire that truck driver that worked for them because he was never qualified to do the job in the first place.
No, wait a minute. Let me advocate for that guy for just a second, because on one hand, yeah, he paid someone to take the written test for him. However, while he paid someone to take the written test for him, he took the road test. He passed the road test, and he has been working as a truck driver for the last however long he's been doing it. I mean, go easy on him. Let him keep working. He's not hurting anybody. He hasn't gotten any trouble at work. Leave him alone. Fuck it. Let her buck. Pray by 12 becoming a Baby Boot member. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. Jelly for the Smelly says, doesn't seem that elaborate. I mean, it's kind of elaborate, right? It's a little elaborate. It's smart to think of. And if she would have taken off her fucking nails, she probably would have gotten away with it. Pool Scam Sam says, firing up old Sparky this week. What? No, I'm not. How did it go from 8 days in the county jail to I'm going to be put in the electric chair? What? Did I miss something? Was there a piece of paperwork that I may have missed? Jesus, Pool Scam. Electricity will be passed through my body until I am dead in accordance with state law? Fuck. I got to check my emails more often. Oh, boy. I was like, I was really ready to handle all of it. I'm like, you know what? I got a good attitude about the whole thing. Look, am I getting kind of fucked over? Of course, yes, naturally. But I feel like I'm in a good headspace. I feel like I'm approaching it with positivity and whatever. Now I'm finding out I'm getting the electric chair. The fuck? Oh, Pray by 12 says, buddy, I'm a gal. Oh, sorry about that. Well, thank you, miss, for your support of the show. Matthew Q with $1 says, just saying, you would hate it too. If you had a French guy if you had to French with a guy from Quebec that's a Muslim that can't speak a lick of English, and you have to try to unload his truck with a forklift and his paperwork while he speaks to you through a cell phone translator. That would suck. But wait a minute. Why are you Frenching with a guy? I don't understand that part of the $1 donation. You said you had to French with a guy from Quebec. I don't know who trained you in, but you don't have to French with a guy at work. That's not necessary. All right, record lows in viewership for an evening show tonight. I can say that officially as we are just over 150 people. Again, no goal tonight. Thank God it is our first Monday back at evening shows for 2 months. Hopefully the word of mouth gets out there. But I have this sneaking suspicion, I have this bad feeling that the evening shows are, and I've felt this way for a little while now, once kind of the gold standard of Steel Toe, the gold standard is now the morning show, as they have been fucking killing it lately. And the evening show, those numbers have been going down, 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 down. And I know it does kind of coincide with football season, but that can't be it. We are getting our shit pushed in, boys and girls. Again, I'm not going to totally panic tonight, as we haven't been on a Monday night in 2 months. So naturally, it's going to be lower. But if we get to tomorrow and we get to Wednesday and we're not in the hundos on both of our two main ones, you gotta admit, like, even if we're just at like 105 apiece, Rumble and YouTube, that's a problem. You got to remember, we were at 150 apiece just a few months ago. What happened? Maybe Aaron's got to get some new shtick. Not thrilled. But we do appreciate it when you hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, grab some new people for the program. Appreciate it. What happened? Did I leave a vacuum on Monday night for 2 months and then more people went, oh my God, the Toe's not monopolizing the space anymore. Oh my God, we're free. We can go. Maybe. And now I'm coming back on Monday nights. I'm watering it down. Now everybody's going to lose viewership. I'm really just coming in here as the proverbial turd in the punch bowl. Son of a bitch. You know, I used to hate these. I think I kind of like them now. These 20-on-1s. Stop. These 20-on-1s that, what is it called? Not Looper. God, it's a particular YouTube channel that does this. And they have one person who's like an expert. The program is called Surrounded. Jubilee, that's what it is. Jubilee is the YouTube channel that does these. And they take one person and they're like, I'm a conservative Republican versus 20 crazy liberals, or, one Christian surrounded by 20 atheists. And they go, and then people run up to the chair and they debate with them. It really is kind of the impact that, like, the Steven Crowder Change My Mind, Turning Point USA debate things have kind of bred, is this, like, everybody's trying to do this prove me wrong or change my mind kind of a format. So this lady, Allie Beth Stuckey, did one. She's a conservative Christian lady, and she was debating 20 progressive Christians. And there are a few clips in here. I am fascinated how people can have the same religion and end up in such different places. Like when we watched that thing a week or two ago, where it was that Lutheran lady, and she was ELCA, Evangelical Lutheran Church of America. And she's talking about how they're going to rip whole sections out of the Bible because they're too sexist. It couldn't possibly be that your church has lost its connection with God and you're not following God's teachings anymore. It must be you want to be the way you want to be, so we got to make the Bible fit you. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. Return Trip says, what is a progressive Christian? We're going to find out. That's why I wanted to play some of these clips for you. Kraken Slappin says 20-on-1. That's like a Bonnie Blue thing, right? No, it's not. It's not a Bonnie Blue thing. but thank you. Oh, now we're pushing up a little closer to 100 on each format. Let's see if we can crack 200 tonight. That's a pathetic thing to say, by the way. But let's see if we can crack 200. Cracking 200 is a bad night. But let's see if we can crack 200. Here's Allie. Oh, and also about 1:30 away from tomorrow night. Let's see if we can knock that down a little bit, because if the numbers tomorrow night are anything like tonight, oh boy, there's no sure win. Allie Beth Stuckey debated 20 progressive Christians, and it did not go well for them. Here she is on gay marriage. This is her. It's kind of funny and sad at the same time to see that, like, this guy with the beard, like, this is now the progressive liberal guy. And the little lady is the conservative Christian, like, holding on to traditional values. And this fucker puts on a pink shirt and a backwards hat, and all of a sudden, like, beards are gay now. Beards are liberal. Like, it's not lumberjacks anymore. It's not like conservatives have beards, dude. Nope. Liberals hijacked them. They stole them. Beards are like Tom Segura gay and Bert Kreischer gay now. The soft guys are wearing the beards. This is them debating gay marriage. Now, in my opinion, you can't be a Christian and be for gay marriage. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. It's not the way it's taught. You either believe in the shit or you don't. But let's see. I love watching these quote-unquote progressive Christians try to bend their 21st century norm. Not bend their norms. Their norms aren't moving. But they try to bend the Bible and Christianity and God's teachings into their 21st century norms instead of doing what they should do, which is, if you are a Christian, taking your 21st century norms and bending them to fit the gospel. Now, if you're not religious, you can fuck them. You can, whatever norms you want to have. You can do whatever you want. But if you're going to be, like, a lot of people want the clout that's attached to being Christian, and a lot of them are afraid to die and they just want to go to heaven. So they're like, oh, well, God would totally love gay marriage. He's totally for it. No, he's actually pretty clear about this one. Let's see how Allie Beth holds up. I've actually heard of her before, but I've never watched her. That's a lot different. Now, to me, that seems like a bit of a cop-out. That's a little bit of a wiggle room. David fucked all his wives, for sure. But, like, you can go to other parts of the Bible, namely the 10 Commandments. Like, there ain't no adultery. And if you're marrying more than one person, or you're fucking around and you're married to someone else, I got news for you. That's adultery. There's no getting around that one. That's like the people who try to get around the Second Amendment by going, well, they meant muskets. No, they did. They had more than muskets back then. Even James Madison said, yeah, you fuckers can own cannons. So, like, trying to say, oh, well, David, 8 wives. Oh, see, God's... well, then what? Then we should make polygamy legal, right? Bigamy should be okay. It shouldn't be a crime. Well, no, that's not what he's saying. No, you're just trying to find certain parts of the Bible to fit the bullshit that you want to do. Like, instead of reading what it says and following it and living your life that way and being a real Christian, you're just trying to look for loopholes to excuse your shitty behavior so you don't have to change. That's a level of spiritual narcissism that really needs to be kind of beaten out of people. Looking up, he's just taking things that existed and ignoring the teachings. There's teachings that God laid out, and then there's stories about dudes who did X, Y, and Z. Just because there's stories about guys that did shit doesn't mean that means the things God said to do, like one man, one woman, thou shalt not commit adultery. Just because it's like, oh, well, look what's in the book. Here's a guy with 5 wives. Doesn't negate what God said. And what's your argument? What more argument are you trying to make? The question is, the Bible says marriage is only between one man and one woman. Are you trying to... It's very weird, these gay marriage fans or these gay marriage supporters who will be like, some people will say, well, I'm against gay marriage. It's against God, and it's sinful, and it's unholy, and it's degenerate. And then the way you're going to defend that is by going, hey, well, this guy had 8 wives. Oh, so you're for that? Well, no, not at all. So you're trying to defend my take that gay marriage is unholy and degenerate, by defending it with something that's fucked up, unholy, and degenerate, like having 8 wives. That's a really weird flex, bro. This is my biggest problem with quote unquote progressive Christianity, non-denominational Christianity, the churches that are in the movie theaters. This is my problem with them. Honestly, the better the band, the more sus I am of the church. I'll be totally straight with you. Is that they go through the Bible looking for sinfulness that excuses them. That's a really dishonest relationship you have with your faith.
Won't condemn me.
Because the whole point of honoring your faith is because it's challenging you to become better. It's not trying to give you examples to let you be a piece of shit. It's challenging you to do things that you don't think you can do. You know, to prescribe and aspire to morality that you don't think you're capable of achieving on your own. You're going to use the example of God and the teachings of Jesus Christ to help you elevate your own game to that point. It's a spiritual and behavioral steroid. You're not supposed to go in there and go, let me find a total piece of shit. Oh, look, you're right. In the actual stories, they don't stop the story and go, by the way, this is bad. But when God's teaching says holy marriage is between one man and one woman, it is then inferred that all these other stories we're telling you are not holy marriage. And also those marriages are not necessarily always centered to the story. So that guy does a great job of illustrating the thing I hate about modern Christianity, which is find me shitty things in the Bible so that I can do shitty things too. I really don't like that. Really don't like it. God's node says, what can I get away with is literally the Talmud. Well, you said it, not me. You said that it's literally the Talmud. I'm just sitting here not disagreeing. All right, so now she argues with this big cholo fella, and he's gonna give her the what for on marriage. Let's see how she handles herself.
Okay, so I am an independent.
Oh, Gilbert. Oh, boy. You think this guy's for or against gay marriage? Let's find out. Not show same-sex couples in marriage. God burns down a lot of fucking cities and kills a shitload of people because he doesn't like people buggering each other in the asshole. Like, there's quite a few instances of God going, too much butt fucking, burn it down. It's a very diplomatic way. Look, I know the Bible doesn't come out and just show 2 gay guys getting married. No, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. No pun intended.
It's just not there.
Yes.
My view is that it's because it wasn't going on culturally at the time.
Okay.
And I do understand.
What? You're right. There was no gay shit going on in like ancient Greece, say. There was none of that shit was going on. Ancient Egypt, there was nothing gay going on then. There was nobody. It was just one day around 400 AD. One guy stuck his dick in another guy's ass and he went, hey, wait a minute. It's a snug fit. Why are you crying? You guys want to do this tomorrow? No, you can't just change shit. Either it's the word of God or it's all bullshit. And by the way, I am fine with you thinking either of those things. Either it's the word of God or it's bullshit. And here's my deal. As I get older in life, I realized, and as I took my life into my own hands and fucking, shattered it into a million pieces, and then I started going to Al-Anon and shit, I'm like, you know what? Doesn't hurt to maybe, let the big guy help. Because here's the deal. If I decide to give my life to that and I decide to believe that and I'm wrong, oh, well, then I'm going wherever I was going anyway. If you want to take the tact of that's all stories and it's all bullshit, you can absolutely do that. But like the price of being wrong on that one is pretty steep. So if I'm going to say that I believe in that. That's what I believe in now. That's what I'm all about. Then I've got to accept those teachings and I've got to accept those commandments. And I can't just sit there picking and pecking for loopholes that allow me to be a shithead. Bing, bing, this guy figured out how to be a Christian. There you go, buddy. Yes. If I feel gay, should I just marry a chick? Yes. Look, this is, again, you don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be. But if you're going to volunteer to be in the club, you got to play by the rules. What am I supposed to do if I'm gay and I want to be a Christian? Just hide that identity deep down and marry a woman? Yes, that is what you are supposed to do. You can't be gay. Well, what if no, can't be gay. Put a clothespin over your nose and dive face first into that muff, my friend. That's if you can't do that, the ELCA is always looking for people. God doesn't say you have to get married, but I mean, he's very clear that it's a sin to fuck a guy in the butt. I mean, it's not, you keep trying to find a way around this. It ain't gonna happen, buddy. Holy shit, Sanford's son gifting 20 memberships over on Rumble. Thank you, buddy.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Oh my God. So that puts us over 500 memberships over on Rumble. It also puts us just $35 away from tomorrow night's goal. Pants Maestro, Eric Cartman, Hobo Chili, Rabbi Smoothie, and many others all getting memberships on Rumble. Thank you so much, Sanford Son, for your generosity on a very slow night. You guys have nearly knocked out tomorrow night's goal already. Unbelievable. Let's put Sanford Son where he belongs. Inhale. Sanford Son in first place now at $100. JD Straight Shot in second with 30. Redbird in third with 21. Kevin Law in fourth with 20. Balls Deep in the cuck chair with $20. And Adam Simon falls out of that cuck chair with that 20. So let's put there he is. Perfect. $35 away from tomorrow. If you guys want to gift a few more memberships and call this thing a win tonight for tomorrow, I'm cool with it. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Rabbi Smoothie with $1 says the way around it, the only unforgivable sin is blasphemy. He can live his life and just ask for forgiveness at the end. I mean, yes, he can. That's absolutely true. But it kind of makes the forgiveness you're asking for seem hollow when you say it like that. When you're like, I can just fucking about all the time and then just ask and tell God I'm sorry. It's like, kind of seems like you're playing the man. That's all. Kind of seems like you're playing the man. All right, we are at 195 between all of our places. We had a low viewership tonight, but great monetary turnout. Thank you for all the likes, subscriptions, all that stuff. Our first Monday back. Hopefully we're back in the 275, 300 range as we go forward. I do appreciate it. Again, hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. We appreciate it. Yeah, Kraken Slapping writes, he is not picking up what she's putting down. He really isn't. Like that clip was very awkward because she was just trying to let him down easy, and he's like, all right, look, I don't think you understand. I really like cock. There's no way you can fit me. It's just kind of like when you're like the maitre d' at a restaurant, you're like, we are full. We are full up on reservations tonight. There's no way you can sneak me into like a high top at the bar. Look, when I say full, to the brim. Now, this next clip is about abortion. Now, this is, again, one conservative Christian versus 20 progressive Christians. I don't give a shit how progressive your faith is. If you are a Christian, no abortion. This is not one that's debatable. This is not one we should be discussing. No abortion if you're a Christian. All right? I'm sorry. You can't. You're taking a life. That is a no-no. It is not okay to take a life, period, end of story. You cannot get an abortion and go, God's totally fine with this. Again, like Rabbi Smoothie said, you got to say you're Christian or not. Progressives got to stop doing this death cult thing where they call unborn babies a clump of cells. That clump of cells was you. You've got to fucking stop it. Here's the abortion argument I respect. It's your body, kill your baby. There's nothing I can do to stop you. Stop trying to justify this horrific shit you want to do because you got fucking selfish. Because you took a load and you don't want to grow what comes out of it. At least have the fucking decency to be honest about. And I, again, not tricking you. I'm not walking you into a trap. If you say, here's my position on abortion, I'm pro-choice because a woman's got the baby in her system, and if she wants to kill it, that's on her. All right. I can't argue with you that you and I do not have an argument then, because, but don't do this thing where you're like, I mean, it is so Mengele-esque. It is so eugenics. It is so Nazi Germany to go, dismiss it as, it's a clump of cells. Like this, it's just such, it's evil, that justification. Like that's how you view human life. Did we get our stream taken down because of this? Did Jubilee take our stream down? I just got a notice that our YouTube stream got taken down for a little bit. Are we back? Thank you, Matthew Q, for the $1. Says, what Bible are we talking about? The Catholic Bible, the Orthodox Christian Bible, the St. James Version of the Bible, the Dead Sea Scrolls? Are there 61 chapters to the Bible? Are there 63? Are there 71? All religions have a flood. James says, you got striked. Your stream has been temporarily blocked because we detected video belonging to someone else. Wow, really? So we can't play that? My bad. Did you really just like put this up on YouTube? Like these are tweets. We're playing these from tweets. Fuck, Jubilee really doesn't. I mean, I'm providing commentary. I'm pausing the thing every 5 fucking seconds to talk about the damn thing. What do you want? Jesus. All right, he says stream is back down. Fuck me. I mean, that shouldn't be allowed. I mean, if you're playing someone's shit and if you're playing someone else's shit and you're commenting on it and you're doing all of that shit, like that should be allowed. Like there's no reason that shouldn't be allowed. It's the very definition of transformative content. I'm playing it. I'm giving commentary. What the fuck? The fuck happened to YouTube? They're saying your stream has been temporarily blocked because we found video responding to someone else. Huh. Are we back now? Okay, it looks like we're back. Everybody left, but we're back. That is such bullshit. Like, Jubilee has one of those, like, you're going to put your shit out on YouTube, but nobody can comment on it. Nobody can provide commentary. Nobody can analyze it or use it for... That's a bullshit deal, if you ask me. Oh, well. We'll move on. I'm not gonna fuck around with it. Well, I guess we can't put that up as a clip either. I was gonna put some of our takes on that up as a clip, but I suppose not. I suppose we can't. 09 Canyon says, and it's not like a single person watching Steel Toe is going to watch this Jubilee episode, so it's not like you're stealing views or money from them. Exactly. If anything, we would go, hey, this is Jubilee. In fact, we already did. It's the Allie Beth Stuckey episode. Go check it out. Here you go. We're going to play a couple clips from it. It's like 2.5 hours long or whatever it is. If anything, we're going to make your video money. Not much. I mean, not a fortune, but a little. That is so annoying. And I'm sorry to Rumble. You had to listen to all that because of YouTube's stupid fucking rules. Oh, boy. Well, at any rate, I got to say this. Great show tonight, guys. Oh, they all came over to Rumble, though. We got back up in the 120s over on Rumble. We did, it does look like we cleared 200 for a little bit tonight. Those are still bad numbers for an evening show, but we haven't done a Monday evening show for over 2 months. So at least we got up over 200 for a little bit. That's, oof. And you guys fucking killed it. Bonan the Carbarian says nobody watches the clips anyway. Yeah, we only have like 1 or 2 a week that hit. The rest of them do dismal numbers. That's why we throw so many of them out there. $35 away from tomorrow's goal. So go ahead. Let's finish that up. Let's finish up that last 35 for tomorrow. And then the evening show can laugh at the morning show because the morning show has a goal and the evening show doesn't. Our governor, is YouTube going to fucking check me for this one? Our governor just embarrasses our state all the time. The problem is half our state is totally cool with it. Half our state loves that Tim Walz embarrasses because they don't see it as embarrassing. They don't see it as him making us look like a bunch of pussies, but he continuously makes us look like a bunch of pussies. Tim Walz tweeted over the weekend about how excited he was to get his COVID and flu shots. Bro, people are still getting COVID shots. Can you believe this? It's done. It's over. Guys, it was always a psyop. It was always a released chemical weapon that had an expiration date so they could pull their dirty moves for a while. All right? It went away no matter how many people were getting vaccinated or weren't getting vaccinated, and it wasn't coming back. When's the last time you heard someone say, oh, I've got COVID, or oh, COVID's going around my workplace? The bioweapon is done. Well, Tim Walz wanted to brag about getting his, let's full screen old Timmy. Can't believe I have to say this, so he even has to be shitty about it. Can't believe I have to say this, but in Minnesota, you will continue to have the freedom to get your COVID and flu shots. Yeah, that's right, guys. When I think of freedom, when I look back at my life and I go, when was I the most free? It was really during COVID and when that COVID vaccine came out. I never felt jackbooted. I never felt like I was living under an authoritarian regime. I just always felt the sweet lightness of freedom when it came to the COVID shot. And by the way, when has anyone taken away your freedom to get the fucking flu shot? God, he is a cunt. He is remarkably unlikable. I understand how he won 2 terms because he was like never this bad all the time, but especially after COVID and then especially after the 2024 election, if Minnesota votes for this fucking guy for a 3rd term, there's no saving us. We're done. Stick a fork in us. It's over. Can't believe I have to say this, but in Minnesota, you will continue to have the freedom to get your COVID and flu shots. When has anyone ever went, boy, I'd really like a COVID shot, and people went, no, we can't possibly give you. Even if you shouldn't get one, like you're young and healthy. And the risk of myocarditis is a thing. They still won't tell you that you can't get one. Yeah, people were tweeting back at him going, how about the freedom not to? I mean, you had the freedom not to, but it came with a healthy dose of shame. And why do you want to kill everybody's grandma? Just like when you wanted to go outside without a mask on. Oh, so you just don't give a shit about people then, huh? Nope. I guess not. I guess I fucking hate everybody. I guess I don't like or respect anyone around me. That's why I'm choosing not to do this. God. Annoyed Wawa supervisor says Aaron will actually be forced to get both of these shots at 4:01 Central Time, October 17th. This is not true. It's not true. At least I fucking hope not. Right? He's running for a third term, and I really hope he doesn't get it. But again, I cannot stress to you enough how backwards and fucky this city or this state is, and how I am genuinely worried that he's going to win again. Because there's two reasons why. One, Minnesota just keeps creeping further and further to the left. But also because the Republicans have this really bad habit of picking the most uninspiring loser bum candidate they possibly can. Halada Fachina says Aaron will get some injection this weekend. Wait, what? I don't think so. By the way, guys, like I said, 35 away. We got 10 minutes left. We're 35 minutes away from tomorrow night's goal. Let's see if we can do it. Eric Hartman says prison inmates don't get a choice. I am not going to prison. So that does not apply, Mr. Cartman. Baba Shab says they're going to strap Aaron down, inject him with estrogen, and titty fuck him. That's not true. It's not going to happen. Randy J says, sorry, behind in the chat. Yes, you're off. Way off the A game. Thank you, Randy J. I appreciate that honesty. I have felt off my A game today, but I appreciate the support of this audience that joined us tonight. Guys, I've got news. This is apparently a crime. I didn't know that what I'm about to report to you right now was a crime because I didn't know that there were people who did this. But apparently, this is like tampering with food or something. There's a law against tampering. You can't put super glue in someone's soda. Now, I know what you're thinking, Aaron. Why the hell would anyone want to put super glue in someone's soda? I mean, my guess would be you're the biggest vindictive cunt who ever lived, or you're a guy with this haircut. Those would be the two reasons why you would put super glue in someone's soda. I mean, look, it's been a while since I've been like at a workplace with like other coworkers, but I feel like I know well enough that if you're working with a guy who looks like this, either steer clear or do anything you can to make him feel comfortable. Do not piss a guy off that looks like this. This is the walking definition of nothing to lose. What's he going to do? Lose his good standing in the community? Let's take a look.
Tonight, the man who put super glue in his coworker's soda will avoid some jail time. Joseph Ross pled guilty to a charge of putting foreign objects in edibles earlier this year. A coworker at Wisconsin State Fair Park captured this image of a person putting something inside of her Coca-Cola can. Investigators ended up finding super glue in Ross's desk. The court initially sentenced him to 42 months in jail, but then stayed the sentence, placing him on 3 months probation instead.
You know why I'm upset. You know why I find this funny. You know why I think this is the most cruel, sick joke ever played on mankind. He put super glue in someone's soda, could fuck up their teeth, their whole mouth, physically hurt them. No jail time, 3 months probation. Super glue in soda. Guys, I'm fine. I'm fine. You know what? You know why I'm fine? Because it fucking speaks for itself. It really does speak for itself. What? What the fuck? It's insane. Snigger Niggerly says, wait, the super glue crime charge to get him in jail didn't stick? Ironic. No, it didn't stick. I mean, I just got to say, thank God that this guy looked the way he did. Thank God this was a white guy in this story, because I've heard of stories like this going a lot worse. I've heard of stories like this going way south, way worse than anything that happened to this guy. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, I heard one time that there was a Chinese guy who had a real problem at his workplace, and he got in a beef with another dude. And the Chinese guy played a joke, and he went pee-pee in the other man's Coke. Kraken slapping, pants maestro, I agree, and that seems highly unethical. Highly unethical. But at least people understand it. At least people understand, even if they hate my guts, they still go, Aaron, you're right. You're right. Fat lot of good that does, though. Up to 19 people feared dead. I don't know if you heard about this. This was wild. In Tennessee, after a munitions factory exploded. Basically a place that makes ammo and shit. You want to see what it looks like when a munitions factory explodes? It looks like that. Jesus. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, Aaron, were these tents? And they were, no, this is a building, a fucking building. This is legit a building. There's nothing left of it. It just blew the fuck up. They said that not only were 19 people killed, but for miles around, the blast shook people's homes. We've got a couple of clips here of this. And people's Ring doorbell cameras. An explosives manufacturer. That used to be a vehicle, by the way. That's kind of melded into the ground. This is actually too depressed. This is too sad. Let's go to the one where the guy's house shook. That was a real bummer. Here's a guy's 21 miles away. This guy's Ring doorbell camera picked this up. "21 miles away and it shook shit." At least if you were one of the people in that building, you did not feel a fucking thing. I mean, 1 second, everything was fine. The next second, whatever the hell happens when you die, happened to them. Speaking of things that bum you out, I started watching that Ed Gein deal on Netflix. And I'm very familiar with the Ed Gein story. I'm very familiar with the crimes Ed Gein committed and his relationship with his mom and all of that shit. They did such a good job with this Netflix thing. I'm in the middle of episode 2. They did such a good job with it that I don't want to watch the rest of it. It's like, it's too good. It's like, it really gets you and like you emote. And I'm like in the first episode when all the shit's going down with his mom and everything else. And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And you like get so uncomfortable. And it's like, they do a really good job of presenting Ed Gein the way Ed Gein was. And he's still like in his descent into madness. He was a fucked up guy. Annoyed Wawa supervisor says Charlie Hunnam was not a good choice and the show ends really fucking poorly. Really? Because I thought so far he's doing a really good job. I thought. Could be wrong. I'm currently at the part where the girl runs out of the house because she's creeped out by him. She kind of suspects that there's something fucky going on. I don't know if she knows that the mom is dead and he dug her up and she's in a wheelchair, but I don't know. I'm at that part though, and it's already pretty fucked up. There was another part too. There was that part where he killed his brother. That never happened. That kind of took that, like, they had to bring me back in, like at the beginning when he hits his brother with a log. And maybe this is creepy that maybe I know too much about serial killers. I'm like, Ed Gein never killed his brother. That never happened. But you let it go. Real Jacks 2 with $1 says, what a pain in the ass my computer was being. Was finally able to attach pics and send you the email. Check it out and get back to me. Again, no joke. We'll make you a custom Western belt free of charge. Well, who am I to say no? I'll check it out, man. Thank you. And thank the rest of you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. Mondays are evening show nights again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're back to the old schedule. Thank you very much for being here. We'll be back again tomorrow morning and then again tomorrow night. We got a goal tomorrow morning. You only got $35 for tomorrow night. You guys are the best. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your evening.